89% of Americans support universal background checks on gun purchases, and 86% support red flag laws that allow courts to temporarily confiscate weapons from people deemed to be a danger to themselves or others.
Now seems like a great time to talk about the Mulford Act.
This is so important to remember as new gun laws take shape.
Republicans are already starting to show support in possible bipartisan deals to ensure that there are universal background checks for weapons. And of course, everybody right away wants to jump on that bandwagon and agree with that because we're hurting, we're being a little reactionary, and because we want to protect BIPOC communities first and foremost, right? Well, universal background checks won't necessarily help minority groups. And this is why. At one point, the NRA, which is basically Republican-backed, also wanted to pass supposed common sense gun laws, which required background checks. And that was only because the Black Panthers decided to protest on the front steps of the California State House with 357 Magnums, 12 gauges, and 45s, and they declared the time has come for Black people to arm themselves. The display so frightened politicians, including California Governor good old Ronald Reagan, that they passed the Mulford Act, which was a state bill prohibiting open carry of loaded firearms, along with an addendum prohibiting loaded firearms in the state capitol. The 1967 bill took California down the path to having some of the strictest gun laws in America and helped jumpstart a surge of national gun control restrictions. For a group of over-policed people, such as the BIPOC community, the most dangerous thing we can do is take away their right to bear arms. So when you have universal background checks, all of those people who are over-policed and have any kind of record are now not able to legally own firearms to protect themselves, no matter if they served their sentence, no matter if they really were innocent of the crime, and they're just over-policed because of racism. This needs to be considered. This really needs to be considered because we need to arm the people who are misrepresented. We need to arm the poor.
When we went to the Capitol, state of California, May the 2nd, 1967, and Governor Ronald Reagan saw all these brothers off the block with their guns, very disciplined, loaded down to the gill, wasn't ready to take no bullcrap from them. He jumped up across the lawn, he was on the lawn that day, and ran. And those black brothers for the first time in their life began to understand what power was all about. That this might have been minute and very small, but Ronald Reagan was acting in a desired manner. That in fact, when they were patrolling those pigs, and those pigs we stopped and stand what we call a reasonable distance away. It's written in California law that every citizen has a right to observe an officer carrying out his duty as long as you stand a reasonable distance away. And traditionally in the courts, a reasonable distance was considered to be 8 to 10 feet in the state of California. And that's all we needed was 8 to 10 feet with shotguns. And working in this fashion, police brutality in Oakland stopped for a period of 6 months. The pigs were made in a period of time to act in a desired manner. So they went forth to the state of California, the legislature, to make laws against the Black Panther Party, against black people, to say that you could not arm yourself. They went forth so far across this nation, and as you know, the nature of this country is violent, its history is violent. Violence being projected upon people, violence used to steal and take from people. Went forth and they've gone forth to tell people to disarm themselves. Mayor Alioto of Frisco asked the people to turn in their weapons. I knew no Black Panthers was gonna turn in their damn weapons. But the thing is, they're going across this nation talking about gun legislation. They're not good. Why in the hell can't they make some gun legislation against these pigs who are brutalizing and killing us? Let's disarm the cops first. Let's disarm the military. Then they'll turn around and tell you that no, we can't disarm ourselves. We must have enforcement of law. Well, one of the greatest hunky police forces in the world is in London, England, and they don't carry guns. Those cops, how come they can't do it here?